game would be pretty amazing.
Here's a good question. Summonerd is his name, and he asks...
Summonerd, that's amazing. I love that.
He has anyone on the teams studied the classic myth stories or heroes as bloodlines? You know, I mean, we're all pretty liberal arts trained people. Like, I'm sure we know the Roman Greek mythologies, the Native American mythologies. But can you guys talk about some of your inspirations for that, I guess, or just what pieces from those, and more importantly, maybe what pieces you don't want to pull from those, because everyone knows the Roman gods. I mean, that's a pretty standard Western thing, at least in the West.
That's interesting, because like I would think, when we were working on Brazen, I feel like we were looking at a lot of like different mythologies, and trying to find something that could be inspirational without feeling like it had been like tread a lot. Like I think I love Greek myths a lot.
Me too.
But I just think that like God of War kind of has that on lockdown, and it's just like it's kind of been done a lot. So it's like I think it's difficult to be like, yeah, we're gonna use like Greek mythology as the prime inspiration for this game.
Great idea from Fallout 10mm: Roman versus Greek gods.
Roman versus Greek gods. So they're like,
no one's done that.
They're like, that's funny, because then they're basically the same. They just have different names.
Like, Jupiter just comes over and is
my
like,
God,
all right, now
that.
I'm Zeus. What's happening?
I like that the Roman ones would just like have mustaches, like all of them. They like have
on the
spikes,
sticks, like
and they're just like facing off against each other, and they all have mustaches, and the other ones don't. Like,
that'd be so great.
It's kind of funny to think about like a clean-shaven Zeus or Poseidon or whatever though, versus the bearded, mustached version. That's kind of funny. I really like all that stuff. Can you learn some stuff?
Yeah, we got a bunch of job points. We haven't spent any yet.
Yeah,
and these guys kind of suck, so I really want like some stuff going
stuff
on.
Is so funny.
Yell,
heal, wish, throw stone, dash.
Hey, but be honest.
Accumulate.
A good yell, you can frighten somebody with that,
This is totally
Oh, that's okay. Gotcha.
Another true story. When things are
what
going
about the
poorly,
movement
Brad
ones, though?
actually does
Over
a
there and
yell
the other-
at us on
the
the
other
team.
things. Counter
not
tackle,
true.
that's
Not
terrible. I think the Squire has an additional +1 move or something.
Guys, the people on the
that one's very good.
the people on the chat channel are all saying, "Do the yell."
Do the yell? I forget what yell actually does.
It's raising speed, which is always good in this game. So
In case those wizards come.
Rebel
back.
yell will do it.
I hate those guys.
And
Were there
I like having throw stone just as a ranged attack if I need it.
Were there any passive things that were good for the Squire? Defend, yeah. Oh, you know what? I think what you really wanted was gain JP up.
Oh, yeah.
Get those job points.
That would be good, but not for now.
All right.
John, there's a method to his madness right now. Sometimes you just gotta let him.
I like Hamilton. I like thinking about the Squire named Hamilton.
And for our friends who can't see John's finger moving right now, he's basically gleaming the cube. He's amazing at this. This is like he's in the zone.
What does that even mean?
Gleaming the cube? You ever seen that movie?
I've never actually seen it. That's a skateboarding movie, right?
Yeah.
Is Christian Slater in that?
Brad,
That guy can be a wizard.
again,
Shall we
wish you
wizard him
wouldn't act
up?
like
Yeah.
this. I know you have the movie
Let's give
poster.
him
I've
some
seen it.
Let's give him the ability to at least do a Phoenix
Get
down.
a Phoenix down. I
'cause
like
no one
that.
can do that right now.
You could have him be a wizard and then equip his item ability,
Yeah,
right?
that's the
and
idea.
then he can Phoenix down.
Yeah, that's where we're going with
Oh, I
this.
love the class wheel or the job wheel. Go to the job wheel and have him learn some fire.
All right, we'll do that in a sec.
Oh my God, I love it.
Look at all these
And
jobs.
when this thing fills out, it's just the best. Yeah, this guy be a wizard. Let's do it.
Mr. Wizard.
That's really weird that it's not Black Mage. I forgot. I
Yeah,
actually forgotten that.
I mean, it is interesting playing this with the old translations
because he looks like
everything.
What
is
does he
different.
look like? A Black
Huh?
Mage.
He
Looks
is-
like a Black Mage.
yeah.
Should we set our secondary skill ability?
Yes.
should.
Are people saying that we should do that?
I acted like I knew that, but yes, they did.
Let us
Yeah.
do that.
Yep.
Here.
And then that's awesome. He'll be able to.
I,
And then, did you give that guy anything else?
Not yet. He does not have the ability to do anything else. He can defend.
That's good. It's good.
Think about this person's next count as far as like stats and stuff, the characters, like stuff very stripped down. Just a few tech traits, not even really taking stats, just perks or whatever.
That's a good
Yeah,
question. Can you repeat
so
that for
hey.
the?
It's pretty stat heavy.
So hey, Chad just showed
Chad
up.
is here.
Hey, Chad.
Yeah.
What's up,
Chad's
Chad?
a
We're gonna go with
programmer.
fire.
You were there. Yes, you were there the other day when we did the X count. thoughts about stats. Like how heavy do we see the stat? How heavy do we see the game being in the stat direction? And I feel like there's a certain amount of that is kind of required for being an RPG. You know, it's like we want the game to feel like an RPG and have stats and stuff. But I think that, you know, streamlining it as much as possible is really smart. Like having it be like very learnable and a little bit simpler is good. There actually are a bunch of stats in the new XCOM for like aiming and morale and all these other things. I don't think that they're like super relevant though. So I think that yeah, I don't know. It's like I want them to be impactful. I don't want to just have stats because like, oh, well, because it's an RPG, we need to have stats. It's like I think that all of the stats should have a reason for being there and be very meaningful. So yeah, I think we'll have stats. I think that's the answer to that question.
I mean, like, compared to XCOM, which simplified it down a lot. You know, we did like
I guess you're right. There were certain things in XCOM that weren't there. Like HP was not really a thing, right? That came all from the equipment. Yeah, I mean, I think it is important actually to go more in the RPG direction because of the bloodline system and the relics and having those things give like stat bonuses and stuff. I don't think it needs to be like as overboard as like an MMO, you know, where we have just like there's just like buckets of stats and it's just very complicated to figure out exactly what does everything. But having like a few major stats that can be buffed by equipment and also buffed by relics and buffed by, you know, like the nature nurture stuff. I think that's really good. I think that's really important.
All right, finally ready to fight again.
Do you want to try it?
Do we want to try the
You know you're gonna get stopped
mission?
in the Sweetie Woods.
Yeah, well, let's get us a little bit more. We can try our new dudes, see how our bolt and our fireballs do.
So you think we can actually take that one? I would like to beat that mission before I shut the stream off.
I think if
Is
we...
that gonna be possible? We can basically have one shot at it.
Let's see if we can bump some of these people up here. We got some cool squares.
Silky.
Get Mr. Wizard out, and then yeah, and the chemist, she should be.
The
pretty
wizard
good.
can use the items as well, though.
Yes.
Okay.
thanks so much, dude.
Let's do it.
Just get some awesome tips.
Yeah,
that was Paul from
appreciate
Player.
Yeah, Paul had to go. He told me how to shut things down.
Oh, sweet.
Boom.
So we can just run it till like midnight, right?
Yeah, let's get some more
We'll
beers.
need more beer. Yeah, some pizza.
No, I think
These
6:30
guys,
is pretty good.
Skeleton Wizard.
And by the way, big thanks for Chris Remo, who's jumping in, answering some of the questions to the guys in the chat
sweet.
channel. While there's a lot of questions, so definitely big shout out, thanks to Chris for doing that. While we balance the Final Fantasy critique, the questions,
Porkster?
and the
What was that
general
guy's name? What's his name?
Porksore. Yeah, Porksore.
Porksore. That's pretty awesome.
Porkinator.
I had a pork sore once. No, I didn't.
We really don't want to hear
I don't know what
about
that means. It's like you eat way too much bacon and then you passed out for several hours and it got sort of like a bed sore.
The sore comes from your girlfriend or wife or boyfriend or significant other just poking you in the ribs and get up from the comatose
Did
nasty
you
state.
check? Oh, this is.
So I haven't checked the turn order here. We'll see
All
what
right,
happens.
Let's do it.
But he's in the water, and I like that you get bonuses to lightning bolt if guys are in the water. So
I like
I'm gonna go unit in case he moves, and
I forget how you bring up the turn order. It's one of the.
I thought it
I like
was.
that just told you that was a natural
Yes,
surface.
thank you.
That's a grassland.
And so the grass
I
is
don't think
natural.
all
Can
the
you
buttons on the controller
should
even work.
ask the chat.
Yeah.
Or I'll ask the
thought
chat
it was,
because they can hear me.
start button,
hey,
but it doesn't
hey
look
chat.
like it is.
Hello, people in the chat. If you know how to access the turn order in Final Fantasy Tactics, that would be awesome. Because we haven't played the game in a while, and we're not sure how to get
We're
to
inspiring
it. But that
so
was like
much
a
confidence.
cool. Yeah, right. I'm sure that somebody.
Mark
will know.
Haggett and others are saying triangle. Looks like triangle.
Yeah, I think that that button on this controller doesn't work. It's really
Oh, I
sticky and
think-
weird.
Yeah.
And I'm
Could
hitting
be
it.
some emulation hazards.
Yeah. Triangle does not seem to be doing anything.
Hey,
So
we're
try
just
the
going
bumpers.
blind.
Can you try the bumpers or
I've
something?
tried
the bumpers are for
everything.
rotating
Yeah,
and zooming and stuff.
I'm
the
bumping
movers and the
left and
triggers.
right here.
Are there only 3 enemies on this map?
Let's face it, people.
Yeah, but the first time you fought the,
Yell.
Oh, I'm gonna stone somebody.
What's the stone does like?
This is
yeah.
like
all right,
12
yeah.
actually. That's a lot.
That was more than I thought.
Bam. And Zane leveled
and
up.
he gets a job level up.
That was a
go,
good
Zane.
stone.
Yeah, we named Ramza Zane in honor of the brave fallen warrior.
Here's a good question from Ammo Sponge.
Great name, by the
That's
way.
a really good name.
It is a
Ammo
sweet
Sponge.
name. If it takes time to get new keeps, how do you get new classes from your existing bloodlines after your initial party has passed on? So that's interesting. I'm not really sure how those two things connect.
You're going to start out with some keeps. I think that's the main thing.
But they're, I think, very astutely. Who asked this question?
Ammo Sponge.
Ammo Sponge.
The best named person I've
I
ever
think that
seen.
very astutely he realized that something that we've seen. So I did a little prototype mock-up of like what the strategic layer could look like, and I just did it in Unity, and I don't want to show it to anybody.
It's super ugly.
It's really, really ugly, and you don't want to see it.
Brad makes him work good, but ugly.
But I just did it in a couple days just to figure out if like the epic timeline thing would be good.
0%.
Yeah,
I'll
'cause
hit my
you're gonna hit your own
dude.
guy.
I hate that.
And it's like we were messing around with it a little bit, and yeah, that was one thing that we saw is that with only what's happening. What does it say? Oh, he wants to see it. No, you can't see it. You know what? We'll show it to you way later, like once we're
Yeah.
like well into development. And it'll be a joke, and you'll all laugh at it, and you'll laugh at me, and it'll be really sad.
Yeah,
I don't hurt my feelings now.
People who are
That's
asking
right.
why we're not showing like gameplay, it's because we have a couple little prototypes in Unity that illustrate some points and really proved out some things, but they're like cylinders.
They're
on
they're not
a
really
JPEG.
eligible for human consumption. Like that's bad. But what it told us was that currently I have it set up so you get a random assortment of 8 heroes. I don't think that's enough, but I ran the simulation a bunch of times. Nice. You pulled yeah, I like it. So you get a random assortment of like 8 heroes,
Didn't do
like
a lot.
male and female heroes from different. His name totally is Porksore.
Porksore.
So you'll get random
that's
heroes
all.
that are
His
male and
spell.
female, all different ages and of different bloodlines, and there'll be different classes. And then 3 keeps was just what I was rolling it at. And the thing that we noticed is that just like the Ammo Sponge noticed, is that after kind of that first generation, you'll take some of those heroes and retire them, and start establish their house and start getting children for your second generation. But then the other 5 heroes that you have, or I mean, I guess it's less technically. Like I think we need to start you with more, but they will pass away as the timeline goes, and then you'll really only have these like 3 core classes that you have, right? 3 core families that are moving forward into the future. So part of it is that you'll be able to gain new keeps and expand the realm by like fixing up those keeps, like reclaiming them, the ones that are busted, and you go from 3 to 4 to 5 to I don't know how many is appropriate, but the way that we want to fix this problem. So basically, like you would have only people of 3 surnames as you go, 50 years into
I
the
think I see where you're going with
Right.
this, but right?
And so it's definitely a problem that we have to fix. Like it's it's not something where we're like yep, like we got all the answers right now. But our current thinking is that the recruits from XCOM are pretty cool. The way that you sort of you like purchase a bunch of recruits and they show up a few days later, and then they're you can just train them up through combat and they can like take the place of people. So what we've been talking about is that each class will have a guild in the capital city of the realm. Each class has a guild, and there will be common people, not heroes, that are being trained in the ways of that class. So there's like, again, like we already talked about how we're going to have more creative classes, but if we have a, like say there is a mage class, something similar to a mage class, that means there'll be a mage guild in the capital city. And then those, and that you'll be able to inspect that. I think that this is a feature that we can do, and I think it's necessary. Like you'll see why in a minute. But so you'll be able to inspect the Mage Guild and see all of the common people, the peasants that are being sort of apprentices, I think is a better way. See all the apprentice mages that are like being trained and stuff, and kind of like living and hanging out in the Mage Guild. And through your resources, like we're not sure, like there's maybe like some kind of kingly influence, or like maybe some sort of like godlike magic that the immortal king or queen has. You'll be able to turn one of those apprentices into a hero for the realm. Be able to like up jump them and turn, be like, hey, like I found this woman who's being trained to be a mage. She's just a peasant, but like
So are these guilds like proving grounds then?
Yeah, that's how I've been thinking of them. And the cool thing is that the epic timeline impacts them as well. So it's kind of random, like who the characters that are in there will be like random, the ones that are being trained, and you'll be able to like find a cool one and be like, okay, I think that she has like a lot of potential, like, and she's still pretty young, but it seems like a good gamble, and you'll spend some resources on turning her into a hero that will then join your squad. And then what you can do is then either fight with that hero and then establish the bloodline. And then so you've got a new empty keep. You promote one of these peasants to be a hero, and then you can establish a new bloodline based off of that. And that's how you would like get new classes. Really, is that you sort of have like that initial decision about which ones you want to sort of be your core. And I actually really like this as compared to the new XCOM. They have 4 classes, and you kind of just have one of each. Most of the people that I talked to that played the game, everybody has one each of the 4 classes, and then for the 2 remaining slots, you just have duplicates of the 2 classes that you like the best. So like I like the sniper and the assault the best in that game, so I had 2 snipers and 2 assaults, 1 support, 1 heavy. That was my squad.
But you could go all heavy if you wanted to get
you
buck
could.
nutty, like
Yeah,
it's like ice hockey on the nest,
Right,
right?
right,
Like all the
yeah,
fat
yeah.
guys, all the thin guys, whatever you want to do.
And you totally could, but like because there were, I thought that the classes were designed very well actually in that game, where there wasn't a lot of overlap between their abilities. It really did feel like they all existed in their own design space. So you were incentivized to bring all 4 of them. Like it really felt like they complemented each other well, and they really worked well together and stuff. And then they all had unique things that they could do, so that felt good.
That's awesome. And to that very point, like this is a great add-on question to it. Like you're talking about like how these complementing and like you're building these houses. But J. Cam McMillan asked, what about foreigners coming into the land to add to the houses? I mean, you see this in a lot of turn-based games like Master Brian 2, all the Master Brian series. You see like, Brad the Usurper has entered your universe. Would you like to get his services for this cost, this upkeep? Like that can be like a nice fly in the ointment. Like has that thought about that? Or?
Oh, was he talking about it being more like enemies showing up, or just sort of like awesome
no, he said
awesome heroes from like distant lands that show up?
I think it's more along those lines, but
that is super rad.
Yep.
I really like. I mean, they're both good ideas, but I like that one more, where it feels like there are, like a random kind of like pirate sailor like shows up, and it's like, and you have the opportunity to hire him. We had talked a lot about with this whole up jumping idea,
and he did confirm a new hero that comes into the realm.
Or the promotion idea. We had initially the idea actually, we talk about Game of Thrones being like a big influence on the game, mainly because like we read the books, we're like really into it. I haven't read book 5, so don't spoil that for me. Haven't read the Dancing Dragons yet. Super exciting.
Oh, that just sounds awesome.
It's Dance of Dragons.
That's fine.
But I
still
like
want to see that, dude.
I like to call it Dancing Dragons. I like to think about 2 dragons that are slow dancing together, like at a really romantic like high school dance for dragons, where they're just
I immediately went to
it's nice. But we talk about the Game of Thrones influence, and the whole up jumping like thing actually came from, because we kind of knew like going into it that like it seems like we really need a way to get new heroes, to establish new bloodlines. So the idea came from like mercenary heroes. Like, what about mercenary heroes? Because I love the character Bronn in Game of Thrones.
He's awesome.
Like Bronn is so cool, and it's like Tyrion hired him to like protect him and be a bodyguard, but then it's like he does such a good job that it's like, okay, now he's like the he's in charge of like all the gold
knight-
cloaks, the forget what
King's
it's
Watch?
yeah, is it the King's
I
Watch?
thought it was.
The Night's Watch is up north. What's the
The gold cloaks.
The gold
like,
cloaks.
They defend the city.
Yeah, they defend King's Landing, right?
Yeah.
He's like in charge of the gold cloaks,
Yeah.
and then he does like a pretty good job doing that, and then he gets awarded like land and titles, and he actually becomes a lord after the Blackwater Bay thing. I hope I'm not spoiling that for people.
I did get a couple
Shit.
quiets, but that's okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway,
That's an old.
so
that's
a
a few
mercenary,
shows back, though.
the idea of a mercenary that you hire that fights for you, but then is you make him into a lord, and he will actually have children and start a new bloodline for you. I think that's like a super exciting, cool idea, and it fits really well with like art. Thematically, it fits really well, and mechanically, it fits really well. And why did we come up with this guilds thing? I had this guild idea in the shower the other day. I was naked.
You heard it here
You
first.
tell me.
Brad can only design when naked. It makes meetings so awkward.
The shower ideas are sometimes like the best ideas, though. They're amazing.
They really are.
I
mean,
hate the like. I just got into bed. I'm about to fall asleep.
And then you
And now
And then
you're
I'm like
picturing
reaching
Brad
for a
naked.
notebook.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
oh my god. Those are the ones.
but the guild idea I felt like there was something about
Well,
mercenary
while you
heroes
think
that I
about that,
didn't
though,
really like.
what I like about this traveling outlier guy is we talk about bloodlines, we talk about epic timescales. What keeps bloodlines strong is variation, right? I'm not saying we're going to go down to the genetic level of that, but like that's a huge win. B, I think so many of us can relate to the idea of like, you can make in the world if you can survive. Like on your sometimes your wits is really all you need. Like the character you're referencing in Game of Thrones. Like that guy was lowborn, common at a time when it was not good to be lowborn, and like, he really raised his station. It's kind of nice to think about that and how that could augment our game. That's really cool.
Are we going
going
in?
for it.
This
We're
is
going
it.
for it.
Okay, we got to do this.
You want to take over?
It's the slums.
I might need to go to the restroom.
Yeah. Okay. You go to the bathroom. I'll
I
take
have
over.
the bladder of a kitten. I'll be back.
We have a weird team here, people.
We get to
Brad only
watch-
designs naked, and John has the bladder of a kitten.
Everybody out there says Ben Burbank is the best.
Yeah. Well, he totally lost this mission, so.
Is that why you kicked him out? He's
No. He had to go back to work. We already saw this cutscene.
Yeah, cutscenes right now. Getting a lot of positive feedback from our guys. DF Janang, sorry if I mispronounced that, says adventure games are not dead.
Wait,
They're not.
that's Jane. That's DF Jane Eng.
Jane Eng. That's Double Fine Jane Eng.
That's Double Fine Jane Eng, who was in here earlier.
Yay.
Thanks, Jane.
Thanks, Jane.
Adventure games aren't dead.
I'm just learning.
We
your
happen to be
username
making
now.
a really excellent adventure game right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to go up and kill that archer immediately. This is going to end very poorly.
Where's the confidence? Where's the Brad Muir
Well,
confidence?
I think that you need to grind for some more. Like in the initial balancing of this game, I think they set it up so that you need to grind a little bit more before you like come in and win. But we'll see. We'll give it the old college try. Do people in the chat think that we can actually succeed? What
What do you think, guys? Are we going to go with the uber confident, boy, Anthony sure is a positive guy, or Brad's negativity? Can we win this, people?
You want me to get Ben?
No, I told
Ben,
you, Ben already lost this
Ben
mission.
already lost. Yeah, he wasn't.
One of my permadeath games. Losing time out seconds. There he is.
Hey.
Hey,
Did
Ben, you were doing great when
Did
you
you
were
hear
here.
us talking about you?
No, I didn't.
We were just talking about you. I thought your ears.
How well I did at
I
this
thought
game?
maybe your ears were burning.
How good I did?
Yeah. I wonder if anyone can hear John peeing. I don't know what the range is on those mics.
I feel like Naked Gun when Frank Drebin goes to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Hey-oh.
So, I think you're still going to get rolled.
Yeah. How much grinding did you look it up on the internet to see like how much grinding people think is required to get in there? It's pretty severe.
So you unlocked a bunch of classes, that's good.
Yeah, we got a wizard now.
So, I think, like,
Can we
you
just
need
start-
a white mage, like, real bad.
Yeah.
And then,
Actually, it's not a white mage. It's a priest. It's a priest and a wizard. This is probably correct, right?
it's as right as you're gonna be.
And then get a
Get
yell
some
going.
going.
Speed +1. Execute.
All right, guys, keep the massive chalice questions coming at us.
You know you know about turn order, right?
we couldn't figure out how to list the turn order. We
Okay,
asked
so
the
you-
chat and they
when
said
you're-
triangle
You can hit right when you're like here.
when I'm here.
I think so, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's when you're selecting a skill.
There it is.
And then you hit triangle to get the actual.
Yep,
Sorry.
the unit list. That's not it.
No, I'm good.
Oh, this is a great question
It's not what I
from
want.
Abdiel420. Can heroes sustain permanent injuries that affect their stats over time?
Yeah, that's something that we've been asked and we've been thinking about actually. The fact that we have, the fact that we have like, yeah, we found the turn order.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It was just, you know what it is? The triangle does not work in certain, like while you're selected onto a character. You
Yeah.
have to be like
You have
generically.
to back
yeah.
out.
So yeah, we found the turn order. That's great.
And there's a way to do it when you're looking at your skills too.
Is it okay to get the chemist up here?
Put that turn order on the top.
Yeah, I mean, keep your chemist out of
This
the
seems
front
pretty
line.
good, right? Just hanging out right here.
And you got items. Your black mage still has items,
Yep.
which is nice.
This is a really good question, but Brad, you got to go back to the one I asked you earlier. You're right asks, will the chalice in Massive Chalice be really big or just super dense?
Both.
Both.
I like to think of the chalice.
It's like the
being
center of a star.
Incredibly girthy.
Girth.
Yeah.
All
and-
encompassing.
And really like large. And dense. all of the things.
Fair
you know?
enough.
Like I think that's the
I like
only
where
way
we're
to
going
go.
with that.
Bedazzled.
And oh yeah, glitter,
Yeah.
nailed. But back to that question, John and Brad.
Yeah, what was the
so
question?
you know,
Here, you
will
can
there
take it.
be like a cleaving blow or something, some permanent thing that really
yeah,
sticks
permanent
with you?
injuries.
For,
Okay,
yeah.
one thing that I think is really awesome about this is
go,
that
good job.
we can do permanent damage to the characters because they're going to age and they're going to die. We can feel more confident, like making it a cool part of the game where we're not like upsetting people by like, you know, ultra damaging their favorite character and making their favorite character like unplayable. It's actually a really cool, interesting part of the game, I think, if like you're you know, like one of these characters that you really like, or say you're invested in the bloodline. Well, just because the guy like loses an arm or loses an eye, that doesn't mean that he couldn't like retire and still be useful to the realm and like do research or like have
That's
children
right.
or whatever.
Unless his sister, the queen, you know, like you can have a guy that like loses his hand, right? And then
Shut up! You need to stop talking right now. Somebody's
Right,
gonna get really
right.
upset.
My bad.
But
Okay,
yes,
no,
like
no spoilers.
I think it's a really cool idea. The fact that, you know, like some guy could like lose an eye in battle and now he's like not as good. You could, and then again you have the choice of like, do I want to like have him keep fighting anyway, or do I want to like retire him and whatever. I think that's super cool. It's a super cool aspect of the game. Also, it's like, again, you're attached to the characters, but you're also attached to the bloodlines. So if a guy takes like a permanent injury, 50 years from now, he's not going to be here anymore. And, you know, even if you're really invested in that bloodline, like there will be new characters to take his place, and I think that's really cool.
there potentially can be some interplay between that and the demonic technology we were talking about earlier. Like yeah, maybe if you slap the demon eye into somebody, it's going to do some bad stuff to them, and maybe they're gonna lose some of their fog of war, you know, distance.
Yep.
But if a guy already has no eyes, why not? I mean, I don't know. Could be interesting.
That's okay, he's fine.
You got a chemist?
Is that
Yep.
annoying little archer
You got a
right there?
chemist right there. Throw it. Just throw the item at him and then run.
Yeah, they
We were-
get the ability to item.
We were
basically potion chucker.
we were talking about
chucker,
doing the
yes.
Breaking Bad run through where we just have all chemists. See if we can do it with just Heisenbergs.
Chemist, you go here.
Wait, did we answer all the questions?
We got more coming for sure.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just meant all of the ones that you had
Yeah, kill it.
that had come out of your mouth.
Yes, we did.
Okay, cool.
I am getting a lot of questions through the Kickstarter comments about people talking about is it going to be isometric versus top-down. The big concern being some people feel a little burned by games like FFT and XCOM where they feel like they can't grok the surroundings very well. or games where they don't understand, they have a hard time reading the terrain and figuring out exactly what's going on. And so a lot of these people are fresh off of Fire Emblem and really find the top-down refreshing in that way. And so I think one of the things we haven't finalized the art style, but I think one of the things we're talking about with the art style is making things so that it's very easy to read terrain and you know what's going to happen with the gameplay without it feeling super blocky like this.
Can't you cast a spell and then move? You can like nuke that mage and then run away. Also, he might have I think he targeted your mage with
That's what I thought.
with a spell. So you could also run right. You could cast it on the ground to the left, to the upper left square, and then move. Yeah, or there. Yeah.
Backseat gamer.
Where can you move?
Brad.
Where can you move to? Yeah, I'm totally backseat gaming.
It's cool.
Because I'm just wondering if you
Please
can
do.
move somewhere where his magic will hit himself.
Answer is no.
Okay, fail.
I should just make sure that I'm not near anybody.
Right, yeah. That seems good to move up there then.
I got 37 health. I'll do that. So we'll just.
I don't know if you will.
What do you guys feel about destructible environments for Massive Chalice? Thanks, Freelancer 0107.
I like destructible environments. I mean, that's one of those scope things though. I think the game can totally work without it, but it's pretty sweet. There's a lot of that in XCOM, and we had talked about like, oh, does it still work in a fantasy setting? Of course it does. Having like a huge warhammer and like breaking down a wall and running through it, that's fucking sweet.
Pretty much
and, like,
real life.
Having magic and like big fiery explosions and stuff that like destroy stuff on the thing.
And there's different ways of implementing that are at kind of different levels of tech and art assets, right? So, I mean,
His spell's not going to get off.
Yeah, he's dead.
oh.
Sorry.
Can you speed up somebody who's already in the middle of a spell? I think you can, if you had the ability to do that, which we.
You stay
Yeah, just meet your doom like a
a wizard.
like a wizard.
Take it like a wizard.
You gotta hit the
Now,
stones
there's
for the battle.
Now I could. No,
Can you kill that wizard?
I don't think so.
Hey, just Chris Remo's signing out. He's got some work to do, according to him. But let's give big thanks again. Like he's honestly been there, like answering the
35
questions,
37.
helping us out while we're doing this. So
Thanks, Chris.
Chris.
Thanks,
You're
Chris.
awesome. Woo!
Thumbs up.
Remo.
Okay, so this guy's dead.
Finally.
That archer took that sword right in the face.
Good. Now these guys can do something other than going after this archer.
Oh, can you kill the wizard?
I can kill one.
Yes. Kill the wizard.
Over
You
here.
got it. No, you can't go there. You have to go right in between all of them. Or no, you could. Oh no,
Yeah.
you could punch him in the face. You're not gonna
He's got
miss.
two.
He's a wizard.
Yeah. What's the wizard?
Wouldn't that be hilarious if it's like 23%? You're like, what? Yeah, see, dead.
Bam.
I like how it said execute, and you did just that.
Oh, here goes.
This is bad times.
Maybe he'll live because he's got high resistance. He's
Whoa,
got high resistance.
nice!
Oh, what?
Actually, he's got high resistance because he has like what is it? Weak. What's the stat called?
Is he
Like
a
the
keeper of the
religion.
flame of Arnor?
Oh, yeah! Wizard!
Come to my
Who is
town.
that guy?
Gwyn?
No,
He
that's
gets a
not
pedestal.
Gwyn. Gwyn is this guy.
Call him Whitman.
Ooh,
Oh.
that was
Call him
rough.
Buzzkirk.
Shit.
Oh yeah, let's get
Who
a.
do I- who
Let's
do I
get a.
kill?
You heal the
Potion
wizard.
jar.
People
Are
are
you
saying
kidding
faith.
me?
People are saying faith.
I've got Phoenix.
Faith.
Arms.
Yes.
Faith.
Yeah, he's
The
got
high
actually
faith
pretty low.
state.
He's got actually pretty low faith for a wizard, but that helps in resisting magic attacks, which is interesting. It's like it means his attacks aren't going to be that powerful, but he's also going to resist them better. He probably should have higher faith.
Okay, can you get a double magic attack on
that's what we're gonna
these two guys? Oh, I think
That's
the height
the
difference
height?
is too high though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a height, which is weird. Like of all of the things you could show,
Yeah,
in the
it's like the
interface,
most important
height
thing.
is
It's
not
strange.
very important in this game. We're talking about the turn order being a much more interesting thing to show.
Yeah. So you can move and then
Yeah, I'm gonna
nuke
have to
one of these guys.
The problem is I
This is
can't
so huge.
move and then
8H.
see if the spell works.
See the turn order? Yeah, that's rough.
I have to do
Just
one.
get in there, yeah. Just get in there.
You are the last dragon.
What is this guy's? Neil.
Kneel.
Let's do it.
Neil, the
Let's
most
do it.
boring
Neil.
name in the game.
Kneel before.
Apologies to anyone named Neil.
Neil is not a boring name. That's a good point.
Wow, 12
I mean,
HP.
You can, if you have an awesome last name like Armstrong, that's pretty great.
That's true. They become like compared to pork
Alright.
sore. That's a,
Pork
that was
sore.
pretty
Pork
amazing.
sore
That's what I'm
just-
talking about. Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh.
Oh, and now you can't. Oh, you
It's
can
a
go
good
smack
goblin
this
name.
archer. Get up
I'm
there.
on the side of this guy.
Punch this archer. No, that's right
Oh,
where you
no,
cast the
it's
spell.
never even
You would get.
No, I could go to the side, but I don't need to.
Get this archer.
God,
I
welcome
like
to a
this
day
guy.
with Brad. Just do this,
Just
do that,
do this.
blah, blah,
do
blah.
what I say. Do what I say on the internet. I'm not that bad, you
Dude,
guys.
we did it.
I think
My
I think
girl's
it's gonna
gonna-
happen.
But I think we're gonna do this. Oh.
That's fine. Is that
Plink.
fine?
That's just a
What's
little
this?
plink.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
No big deal.
That guy's got.
Don't you?
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait. I think. No. Yeah, I think he moved.
I
Still into
think
range.
he did. Yeah. Here it
AI.
comes. Get him.
Aw.
No.
Should have targeted him.
You couldn't target
Oh,
him
that's right, he was-
based on where you moved. Yeah.
Because I couldn't. Evaluate
Punch
that.
this archer.
Which archer?
There's this archer over here. Wasn't that an archer? That guy. Punch
There's
that
an
guy.
archer.
That moved. He moved out of the way of your spell.
18.
Kill him.
I don't think it's gonna kill him.
Yeah. No, you got him.
Grenade.
Grenade. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. If anyone was watching our next
Oh.
time, grenade that guy. Grenades. God, at least there's no Dr. Valen in this game. Judge all of my actions.
Be careful for collateral damage.
Yeah. Oh man.
Your people might not want to fight. It could cause problems.
It's not coming through on the camera,
Oh,
viewers,
dead.
but there's a single tear
Oh,
going
fuck
down
yeah.
Brad's cheek.
Got Phoenix down. We'll be alright.
You might not even need the Phoenix down the way this thing's
there's
going.
still-
Uh-oh.
The CPU guys are still just doing.
Yeah, I think Phoenix down.
If I can-
Better safe than sorry. Can you chuck it over there?
He might get intercepted.
What happens when you intercept the Phoenix down?
I don't know. I don't
You
know if
get-
that can happen.
You get
Potions.
2 lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Potions get intercepted all the time.
Yolt. Right?
0%.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh
Nope.
no, why did you
Oh,
execute?
0%.
Missed.
Sorry.
Oh no.
Phoenix waste.
You really are the worst at Final Fantasy Tactics.
I'm terrible. You want me to attack with the wizard?
Yes. Always. If you choose a unit, it still has the... God, only 12 though. That's really rough. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, move him out of the way.
Get him out
Let's,
of
let's
there.
still,
He won't be able to reach me.
Yeah, get this archer. Get him in the back.
No, 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 no.
oh no.
Okay,
Oh,
you're
woo.
okay. You're okay.
Look how screwed up that isometric is. It looks
Yeah.
like that tile is this tile.
I mean, we do want the game to be isometric though. Like 3D isometric. It's just that, yeah, making sure that like the art style lends
Oh,
A
itself-
lot of
Guarded.
questions about, are we talking squares, hexes? Is that something?
Oh, not hexes. I think squares are fine. Yeah.
I like squares.
Hexes feel futuristic to me. I like hexes. Or, I mean, I like squares. I'm tired.
Yeah. Sorry, bro.
Zap.
Yeah, it's only 12, but it's good.
Here's a question from Surplus Gamer. Brad, so earlier you were talking on Twitter about the ideas of having black sheep members of a bloodline. Could you expand on that?
Yeah, we've been talking about
Thanks,
this,
Surplus Gamer.
This perks and quirks system about so you know, when you're thinking about, oh man, does he have 1 HP?
He has 1 HP.
Amazing.
That's all he needs to kill.
Amazing.
Throw a
Well,
rock
here
at
come
him.
the
come the AI.
AI to actually be good
No.
at killing.
There's still just
Your
like-
mage only did 20 to that guy. That knight is heavily armored.
I know.
That knight is heavily armored.
Well, he's a leader.
What is this dash for
That
9?
guy just did 9.
That was pretty weak. Oh, he's down to 17. Things are okay. Okay, so the perks at WoW. The
Black
perks and
sheeps.
quirks things. So yeah, so you're like attached to this bloodline, and you know, with the epic timeline, characters are being born and they're of the same bloodline. And going with our current kind of thinking, they would probably be the same class, the same primary class. But we want to have cool ways to like actually differentiate them from each other, right? So otherwise, it would just be like, what's the point of the epic timeline?
Sure.
Like all the characters just have like different first names. That doesn't seem as interesting. So talking about the system of like perks and quirks, which kind of comes from like Fallout 3 stuff. Like Fallout 3 has a really cool, or really older Fallouts, just Fallouts in general. I don't know if I can point to a specific Fallout.
It comes from GURPS, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
But,
There were things before computers called pen and paper, and
But like, I really like the idea that you have like these advantages and disadvantages that characters can get randomly. Zane's fine, right? He's gonna go get this guy. Yeah, so you have like advantages and disadvantages that can be assigned randomly at birth, or can develop later in their life. I think that's something that's really cool too. Is that like they might not be there right away, but oh, can you not actually?
I can hit him, but he blocked last.
So we talked about things of like being like really slow, being like super agile, being really frail, being super strong.
Sure.
Being super smart, like being really lucky, so like you get lots of critical hits. Like there are all these things that can impact the actual tactical portion, and then I think there are things that impact the strategic section as well. But we've been talking about this like, so another system would be this affinity system where like characters fight better in battle over time when they have been fighting together, and there could be a bunch of different things that impact the affinity system. And one of them would be like, oh, like people of the same bloodline, they just have a natural affinity towards each other. So like brothers and sisters and fathers and daughters fight better together on the battlefield because they're of the same bloodline. That seems pretty cool. Like I dig that thing. So now you get to the actual point of this fucking explanation, is that like a black sheep being a quirk of a character, being like a disadvantage where they have a really low family affinity to the other members of their family.
Can't stand that guy.
Yeah, it's just like, are we
Crazy
gonna,
Uncle
we're
Carl.
gone.
We're gonna lose her. If I don't.
Can you Phoenix down that?
I mean, that's where,
I could.
if there are bastard children as well, that could be interesting. Like, where did the black-haired kid come from?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Send him up to the
But yeah, just
wall.
the idea, I sort of like that, and also the affinities could be bi-directional. They wouldn't have to be like Anthony, I really like I kind of don't like you, but you really like me.
I see how it is.
Yeah. So I mean, I hate to break it to you, but
Well,
know,
if you've been reading
I
my
thought
blog,
that-
I don't like you either.
I thought that I just put it out
Here
there.
we go.
Are you gonna go for the stone throw?
We're doing
nice.
100%
Get it.
chance.
Get it.
Bam!
Man, all right, John.
Drop it like it's
John,
hot.
I feel like I owe you an apology because you were all like, "I'm gonna get the stone," and I'm like, "Throw stone's terrible."
It's not bad.
But then
early game.
it just won the game.
yeah.
It just saved our troop's life. She was gonna crystal.
You can
up.
find a stone anywhere in this game. It's amazing. You're just like,
That rules.
Black Off asks about heroes. Might it be possible for them to be captured? Maybe you have to go on a rescue mission.
so one of the things we were talking about earlier was that like if a keep is under attack, that then you you have to defend the keep, and if you fail that mission, what happens? Is that failure mean that everybody that was attached, associated with that keep, is gone, or maybe not? Maybe they become corrupted. Maybe they become captured. I mean, that's interesting. I think we're also talking about different mission types. We really want to explore that more thoroughly. So, New XCOM had like escort missions and terror missions and the bomb missions, and I think we'll be able to come up with a number of good mission types and figure out how that works.
I like that idea though. Like in a like I don't know, like the total wipes in XCOM are a bummer, right? It's like trying to avoid that feeling of that being like so devastating, you know. So maybe there's a thing where like, and I also like that, like we want to have permadeath. Like if your heroes take critical damage on the battlefield, they will die. But there was also that thing, and actually it's interesting seeing it in an Eastern game like Final Fantasy Tactics and a Western game like XCOM, where sometimes your characters in XCOM and this will like die, but like, oh no, they're like they're just wounded for a few turns or whatever. And I wonder if that could be a thing where like if some of your characters are wounded in a total wipe, they might not actually be dead, they might be captured or something, and then that could present you a mission to like go actually like try to rescue them and get them back. That seems really cool, like ways to sort of diverting the, trying to like make it so that a total wipe is like okay,
Right.
and less of a
although
of
it's
a dead end for your playthrough.
Sure, and at least like although we're still early on, that's a great idea. Like, and that's part of the scalability of our game. At least that idea dovetails really nicely with our mythology, our environment, and so it's like that you could see that going forward, which is great. Very cool. Mom Says I'm Special asks, I wonder, does it feel amazingly wonderful to be a part of one of the coolest game companies?
Oh man,
It does, and I think Ben and I probably have we're some of the newest Double Fine members, and it's awesome to be here.
Yeah, I'm newer than both of you guys.
And
It's pretty
you are the
sweet.
newest,
Yeah,
so
it is pretty cool. Brad's
Chad's
like,
still here. Chad's been here a long time.
Chad's been here
So
for
have I.
38 years. He actually was
I've been
born in this
here-
building.
When it
I've
was
been here
single
almost
fine.
When it was single, that's right, it was just
Yeah.
fine.
Just
Who do
fine.
I got
Which is
two
fine.
people. Who do I take in? The wizard?
Yeah, the wizard.
Alright.
That's not even a. Yeah. Oh, but then
Oh, that's
You have the dual setup. Double Fine's great. It's been
silky.
Psychonauts is one of my favorite games, and so it's really cool to be working with a lot of people who worked on Psychonauts and just be able to talk about some of that stuff. And seeing we still have the concept art, like watercolor, hand painted concept art of Psychonauts on the walls,
Yep.
is really cool. And Tim is a great CEO, founder, leader guy. Like I think he really sets the tone of friendliness, humor, and creativity that we all strive to.
also just like openness to new things and new ideas and stuff. Like not being afraid to take risks. Like
Yep.
doing the Kickstarter for this game is like pretty risky. Like we've never made a turn-based strategy game before. Broken Age is still in development.
We don't have an alpha to show you.
Yeah, we don't have, like, it's still a
That's
very
right,
early
yep.
concept. Like, all these things make it pretty risky, but it's like, it's also, I think it also speaks to the fact that, like, people trust us and they trust Tim, and, like, that's really cool. And also, like, we really appreciate the support of the community, and, like, I would much rather work on a game that's being funded by the community than being funded by a publisher.
Yeah.
Like, I'd much rather, answer to the people who are actually wanting to play the game, as
Yeah.
opposed to answering to a small group of businessmen who are just funding it as a purely business endeavor.
Yeah.
Like,
Every one of your dollars is like 3 publisher dollars.
yeah,
or
that's,
more.
you know what, that's something that we don't talk about, that we've never really talked about, is the publisher tax, if you want to call it that. Like, the fact that there are a lot of, like, meetings and convincing and things like that. we have to go
Demos
through.
that you have to
Demos
create that you
and-
wouldn't
yep.
otherwise create.
Yep.
And even above that stuff, I remember when I was talking to Tim about coming over to Double Fine, and he was just like, I was just like, the Broken Age at that time, the DFA adventure was, DFA Kickstarter was going crazy, super awesome, and he's just like, I just have no barrier between me and my fans, and like, and new fans and players in general. He's like, that is something I've looked for a long time, and that's, it's like, and you're right. There's no middleman. There's no suit of whatever you want to call it. But it's like, really, I mean, again, that's kind of to your point, John. Tim's ability to just arrow shot, nails bullseye, like the core of the meaning of it. This Kickstarter campaign is just the whole thing. Did I say
Anthony,
bullseye? Did I say
you
bullshot?
no, it was just, I thought it was pretty hilarious. I don't know. I feel like sometimes when you get rolling, you do have that sort of like, so Anthony actually used to work for Sega. I'm totally outing you.
Oh, yeah?
Anthony used to work for Sega.
I did. It was awesome.
On the publishing side as a biz dev guy.
I was
so
an
sometimes you go in that sort of like, yeah, I'm totally explaining this thing to you, and it's like, I feel like the double guns are coming out soon.
I was
But I like that you're really excited about it. It's awesome.
I would just say, yeah, totally. I would just say, like, it was more coming out from the tack of, like, straight to the fans. It's awesome. It's awesome.
It's cool.
Okay.
And
So this is the important one.
yes,
When
you
you're
found
on
it.
a
That's the one that
skill-
you want. You hit,
Yeah.
then you hit the triangle,
You know
and then
you
you
hit
get
right.
you hit right, of
And then-
course.
Yeah, I've been hitting left, and then it'll tell you where it's going to land.
Yes. Okay.
Totally useful information,
Probably good.
That seems good.
because now that guy can't walk over and just zap it.
And,
I love the chemist pouch. Chemist pouches are awesome.
It's important.
where
Is
you
it like a
put-
bag of
it's a
holding?
fanny pack. It's also got a butt pack. Did you
Yeah,
see it?
she's double.
What do you call a butt pack like that? A fanny pack that's worn right above your bottom.
I'm not sure.
I don't know what that is either.
Hip
Do you
set.
guys know what that is?
I mean, I think a
You
fanny
wear the,
pack
you wear the
can be
fanny
used
pack in the front,
wherever.
I think.
Strip away the ground.
Bolt!
Glistening blades about
Glistening blades. Get it.
I think we're also looking forward to being able to work on a game.
Those are my wedding vows.
In public, right? Like we've talked about this
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Like Brad hasn't been sitting on his hands for a year. He's been doing all kinds of stuff that we can't even show you a lot of it.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just so like this is something we'll be able to show you.
Yeah, I'm
We're
excited about that. Just going from like, it does feel like a weird like going from 0 to 60 kind of thing, but in the best possible way, where we're like we're announcing it immediately, like right away, and like talking about it a lot and getting people involved, and that's so awesome, because if we had signed a publisher deal, we'd be like, and we came really close actually. Like if we had signed a publisher deal for Brazen or one of the other ideas, it's like we would not be talking to people about that game for a
Another
really long
year,
time.
year and a half,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a bummer. So I'm super stoked that we actually get to like talk to people about stuff right now. It's awesome.
It's a little scary too. I mean, it means that we're going to try to find the fun as soon as possible.
what?
And any failures we have are going to be very public, you know, and we're going to have to be just honest with you guys about that. Like, hey, we tried this thing, it sucked.
Yeah, we're gonna fail.
Yeah, I mean, you don't.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
It
you
is
don't see. There's a
sweet.
lot of development, and you need to get to those as quick as possible so you can get them out of the way and get them out of your system.
I'm
Why
more
is-
concerned about Brad's design meetings where he's naked. It's just awkward. Like earlier, you know, he said he had his epiphanies naked.
Yeah.
Referencing the shower scene.
We have to. That's how it works.
I have to whack.
Everybody on the whole team is gonna have to. No, they're not.
Waxing's expensive.
No, they're not. It's gonna be fine. I'll just continue to have shower ideas.
Here's a question from Crazy Blue Prime. Will Massive Chalice use a CT gauge or will it use a turn system?
I like that, a CT gauge. That sounds awesome. Yeah, so he's referring to the interleaved turn order of like a Final Fantasy Tactics versus something that is more just like whole turn based, like XCOM. I feel like because we want to do the oh, nice one. I like that. That was nicely done. Because we want to do the like Fog of War and stuff. I think that it's probably better to go with the like whole turns, where it's like human turn, demon turn, human turn. It also lets you plan it out a little bit more easily. It's like I think a more grokkable for people. Like as we were looking at the CT system here, it's like you have to like click on the thing and then look at a list, and then it gives you the name of those units, and then you have to like go back and check like which what was that guy's name, and you have to like link that up in your head. And it's like I feel like there are a lot of extra steps in order to like do the CT thing in a really like I just think it's a more complicated approach, and I think that the turn-based thing is a little bit easier for people to like get their heads around.
And it works. And like I said, it does work much better when the enemies are not all unveiled. You know, like you don't even know where they're at. You just know something's happening.
Right.
That's cool. And then it lets us do really cool abilities and skills that kind of subvert that system, where you get an extra turn for a guy, or you can move him 3 times, or get an extra attack, and that's neat. And we also talk a lot about attacks of opportunity, being able to kind of like the Overwatch mode in new XCOM, but with more melee focus, being able to set up guys in pivotal locations that you think won't be seen by the enemy, but the enemy will walk through and then walk right into your traps. So being able to set traps, I think, will work really well with that system. And then it's just not like menu. I mean, the Final Fantasy games, all of them are all a lot about lots of menu scrolling and really figuring out what's going on underneath the hood, especially this one. And I think we can come up with a really deep tactics game that doesn't require that kind of menu scrolling.
I agree.
Very cool.
And it's cool for this game, and it works out. I mean, I like the idea of prepping a spell and then hoping it lands at the right time. So it feels like an artillery strike at that point. And I think there's other ways of incorporating that same kind of feel.
And there's probably a way to do it where the interface is a little bit simpler, right? Like, I mean, this game's pretty old at this point. Like, where it jumps between the...
So also one problem with a lot of the CT games is as soon as you give people the ability to affect timing, like those games always break wide open as soon as you can speed people up, because you end up taking like 8 turns in a row, and I mean I love that about Phantom Brave, but it takes like seriously 2 hours to make your characters impossible to die. Oof, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So Ben was talking about, I don't know if you guys can hear him or not, but he was talking about gaming the time-based system by once you can figure out that you can speed your characters up. And that's why like the speed up spells are really important in this game, because you could just get somebody to have twice as many turns as somebody else, and that's pretty ridiculous
That's fine.
in terms of power.
Oh, this is not fine.
We've talked about this a bit on the
Really not
forums
fun.
too, but Final Fantasy Tactics feels a lot more board gamey than something like XCOM. I think I feel like I buy that XCOM is in a more real environment, that the characters are actually moving through the environment, that it's representation of that. Whereas this, and part of it is that every level is, you know, like it's floaty
Yeah,
block
it's
world.
it's like a board floating
Yeah.
in midair.
Although
Yeah.
I would love to see, and I'm sure it's out there being worked on, but like the Minecraft of Final Fantasy Tactics games, where it's it's all blocks like this, but they get destroyed, and you turn them into resources. I'm sure that happens. That
someone-
would make $1 million.
Either
Xbox
either
Live
someone
Arcade.
was making that, or someone is just started right
Yeah.
now.
Or maybe it's us.
maybe it's
Maybe
us.
it's us.
Massive Chalice Minecraft mod.
Massive Minecraft.
Oh,
Chalice
and then
mods.
look at this. It's a nice free kill.
Yeah.
Is part of the board game feel just to slow it down? This is like, what, 20 by 20?
Yeah, part of it is the smaller map that's also not connected to anything else. And it, XCOM has to create barriers, and we'll figure out how to graphically represent those without that feeling really dumb. I mean, it's weird when you're like, oh, there's like red laser lines that don't let me walk through it. But definitely having the larger map where you need to explore it to see everything, where you get a sense of what the level geometry looks like, but you don't know what's hiding inside of it. I think is really cool. And I think if we go with some more dungeon levels, that will help us do things like randomize some of the chunks and rooms of in the
Ian
dungeons.
is that knight right above you.
This guy?
Yep, I'm pretty sure.
We can talk about one game that we haven't talked about before as being kind of inspiration for this, and that's
Dance Central.
no, not
Kingsburger.
Dance Central.
Dance Central.
No, Football Quest.
Football Quest.
Um,
Yes, like that came out of the TIG Source. If you guys don't know about TIG Source, I believe that stands for the Indie Game Source. TIGSource.com.
TIG Source.
That's Derek Yu's site, who made Spelunky, which is a really fine game. But yeah, like so on that website they do.
Dang it.
Wait, what happened?
I didn't do panel, I didn't.
oh, you got.
Well,
got
you know
punched.
what? Doesn't matter right
You
now
did
because
die,
he just
though.
got punched right in the wizard hat.
Exactly. I think you took one in the
Just getting
seeds.
punched right in the wizard hat. Dang. What? 35?
I don't know what's going on.
This is
We're
terrible.
bringing a knight
Phoenix
back
down.
right now, yeah.
You got 2 Phoenix Downs, right?
Anyways, so this game came out of. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly who created it, but you guys were awesome. Came out of I think it was like a month-long sports game
4 HP.
game jam.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And it's really cool, completely randomly generated dungeons where you move these kind of football-esque heroes through and try to manipulate a ball from one end to the other. Super difficult, really hard.
Yeah, it's very difficult, very roguelike.
That's some cool
but
melee mechanics.
It's got some really cool positioning mechanics about like tackling the enemies and kind of like getting them in position, getting your guys in position so you can do charge attacks. And then it has a really nice Fog of War system that seems really cool. So it mixes melee combat and Fog of War in a cool way. And yeah, I don't know, we're just
Free to download, check it out.
Yeah,
Foot
it's-
Brawl Quest.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean maybe we could interleave a couple games. That would be cool.
Do like mini Twitch.
Because that one, I mean, you don't really play it for that long. What's happening? Is everything falling apart?
It's falling apart.
Why are you losing?
Oh my!
We have had people ask us to Twitch Fire Emblem.
Yeah, and we're not sure exactly how.
And we could do like the
do that.
Wii,
GBA.
or we could do
Yeah.
like the Wii version,
The GameCube one.
the GameCube or the Wii version.
I don't know how we would do the Game Boy Advance version. Oh yeah.
Oh right, yes, we could. I guess we could
Right.
do it this way.
We could just do that.
And
know
some
why I
people,
didn't think
somebody
about
asked today about Super Robot Wars, or Super Robot Tyson.
I'm a big fan. I have
Ben's a
all
big
of them.
fan. You have them all.
Do it.
Well,
I have like 10 of them. Who am I bringing back? The knight
I
again?
don't know.
We shall see.
He's just gonna die.
I know.
She's just gonna die.
All of them are going to die.
I do hate how little HP
Run.
you get
It's
from
really bad.
Phoenix down.
Just run over here.
And
Maybe you
that
should
really
get
makes, I think,
Crystal,
the-
it's got a magic power in it.
The white mage spells are a lot more powerful.
What do we got?
So-
35 and
63.
and oh my god.
This is not looking good. I felt like it was going pretty well at the
seemed all right
beginning.
for me.
Yeah.
Then you blew it.
Then it went very not well. Got some job
I got
points
greedy,
though.
I'll be honest.
What's that guy's name?
Oh,
Tinsburger?
man. This guy has done this twice.
Yeah,
He
he
just walked in. He just walked in. Was like, rock.
Stone of the
Like,
He's like
damn.
having a sandwich
Twice.
behind the wall, comes out, throws a rock every now and then.
Miss.
Hey.
Super
Yeah.
effective.
Okay,
I'm gonna
okay.
go hide in the
That guy's
corner.
gonna get it.
I'm gonna get this crystal because I'm not
'Cause
gonna
why
try and win
not?
this fight.
So here's another thing about Final Fantasy Tactics. Like,
Get ability.
there becomes this part where you kind of want to make some of your guys die, so you 50-50 shot at leaving a crystal, and then you can give their skills to somebody else. And that's kind of weird. We're gonna have to figure out like if characters die in Massive Chalice and leave a relic. Don't want it to be the optimal strategy to purposefully send them to their deaths all the time. Like farming your own guys to have them die on the battlefield.
Yeah, you just said all the time. I think any of the time. I don't think we ever want you to like suicide your troops on purpose. That seems really poor.
I think sometimes, at some point you're going to say, Grandpa is not going to last long, so let's have him, go out in a blaze of glory and maybe take a few demons down with him.
John's grandpa.
Yeah, old man Swift.
Why don't you
Pat
roll
Pat,
your old
just
ass
Pat
out
Pat,
there,
you're
Grandpa?
awesome.
Take
If
an
you're
arrow to
watching.
the head. No, you're right. That's a good point.
Are
But,
we
yeah,
going
so-
out on this one?
We're going to have to. We're going to lose.
Oh man, yeah.
man.
Wow.
So trying to balance that, encouraging you to feel okay with taking risks with your characters, but also not encouraging you to throw their lives away meaninglessly.
Let's see.
Sure.
do we have any?
No family name would be tarnished.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that's
Ooh,
cool.
that'd be
The
nice.
family name.
I
getting
like rewarding you
tarnished.
if a guy dies in battle, but he's taken out a couple demons. That's great. If it's just like obvious that you just sent him in and he just got wailed on, and he didn't kill somebody, then that's not really an honorable death. So, let me think about that. I think that's
Get him up on that box.
It's not going to live.
How can he lose?
I should go. I should have gone to get the crystal.
Hit B, hit B.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Boom.
You can't get around to
you
it.
can't. What's blocking that corner piece? As long as
Maybe
you
if I,
haven't.
wait.
yeah.
Maybe if I kill this guy,
Yeah.
I can go get the crystal.
That's Ben Burbank, everybody.
Ben Burbank. Getting
It's 'cause
dodged.
You said he
like,
was the best at Final Fantasy Tactics. I heard that.
that's right.
Oh my God, what a disaster.
Oh,
And this guy just gets
he's
full
healed.
HP. This guy just gets full HP. Amazing. Wow. And now here comes a one shot on our chemist. Oh no. Okay.
Nope.
The
she took
ghost
it.
of Square Pass
Took
is
it in the fanny
laughing
pack.
his butt off.
Yeah, the fanny pack. Like, and then this guy he got a new shield. That's great.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, just throw another. Oh my God, he's literally the
That's
best
so
at
great.
throwing rocks.
There's a crystal you can get.
Yeah.
Maybe Tensberger will hit you in the head with a rock first.
Get ability. Fire. Yeah, let's do it. Inherit it.
Grenade.
You know what? I don't have
No.
You can't use it,
Oh
so-
man.
So
Oh, what
yeah,
a disaster. We have a lone chemist,
not for long.
and I think this
I
might
think
be
if I had
it.
gotten that crystal, it would have been alright.
Oh wow.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
So not
That's
every
rough.
live stream will end on success
Do you have
like
the
last
keyboard?
time.
What?
Do you have the keyboard?
It's down to the bottom left, I think.
Game over.
It's over there.
Keyboard.
Oh, I got it. I will grab it.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah,
We-
thanks for joining us.
This was
on some,
awesome.
And have a great weekend, everybody.
Wait.
Yeah, and let's.
Oh, I wanted to get that game over really big, but I couldn't. Hey, so yeah, thanks for joining us on this awesome Massive Chalice live stream of Final Fantasy Tactics. What
We
are you
didn't see
doing
the
to that?
update today. We have
Oh.
PayPal support up on a new website. I think it's massivechalice.com/back.
That's it.
Yes.
BACK.
Yep, and that's for anybody that doesn't want to back it or can't back it through Kickstarter.
Yep.
You can back the project there. The reward structure is exactly the same, and you'll get those same exact rewards that you'll get on the Kickstarter page, which is great. And yeah,
Keep
is
an
there
eye on
anything
the. Make sure you head over to doublefine.com and check out the Massive Chalice forum. We got the Facebook page is really active. Obviously, you got Brad's Twitter account. John, what's your Twitter account?
Burnhelm.
Burnhelm.
BERNHELM.
Burnhelm, and I'm Megavon, MEGAVAUGHN. That's V as in Victor, Megavon. And Ben, you got a Twitter account?
Yeah, B Burbank.
B Burbank, and parenthetical, the world's greatest stone recipient of getting hit in the head
Man, I got
in
so-
FFT.
You definitely
You got stoned.
you got stoned at work today. That's kind
not
of cool,
bad.
right?
Also, we announced more language support today, right? We feel
Yep.
comfortable saying
Yep.
yes. We will
Yep.
support eFigs.
Now that we're this far over our the amount that we were asking for just the English version, like it makes sense for us to do eFigs translations. So that's English. I got the E. French,
Italian,
German,
and
Spanish.
Oh, that's
Swedish, yeah. No, Spanish. And that's like a pretty typical translation that we're going to start with for the game. And then, yeah, we'll see. If there are other languages that you would like, please recommend them, and we're listening.
We've had some requests for Portuguese. Brazilian Portuguese.
Oh.
And then also a couple people come forward saying that they would love to help fan translate it if they can. So
Someone
we'll
recommended
look into stuff.
Sanskrit. We'll
Sanskrit?
see about it. We'll see about it. That's a toughie.
Maybe Latin?
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. So,
yeah, exactly.
yeah, thanks for the support. Thanks for
Ryan.
backing Massive Chalice. Thanks for checking out the stream. And we're going to be doing more of this, more updates on the way. But we're all very tired. And so I hope everybody has a really good weekend. And then we'll be back at it on Monday. All right.
Yep. Tell your friends. Thanks a lot for supporting us.
Also, we're going to send some fun stuff from E3 most likely, right?
Yes.
Brad and I will be down
Yep.
there. And
We'll be down at
checking stuff
E3.
out, sending some updates.
Which
John
would be
will be
great.
manning the helm back here.
Yep.
If there's anything you want us to check out, we will take pictures of it.
Yeah.
Or video and send it out in one of the updates. So,
Absolutely.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Oh. What did I do?
Oh,
Amazing.
sorry.
I don't know what you're doing.
No, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah.
Massive
Now we
Chalice
can
is
shut
out.
it down. Now we can shut it down. Go to broadcast.
Go to broadcast.
And then, broadcast. And then click that top one.
No, guys,
Is it this one?
Massive Chalice.